My name is.
Supposed to be able to go through it. Well,
Alright, how are you?
I've got to figure out what piece Jeremiah. That'd be great. I'll figure it
Oh, yeah, we got
That's what. I'll mention
It's five.
It's literally.
That's all. The legal system back there.
But I was going to say. What's up? Good. How are you? Okay. Perfect. Do you have my email? It's Aaron. Dickens at City of Newcastle.
Well, sometimes.
City of Newcastle.net.
Yep. I was trying to get the. No, it's all separate, but we'll get to that. We'll get there. We'll get there. The meeting hadn't started yet. Got to save some surprises.
All right, please.
There you go.
And you're watching.
Calls being to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mayor York, will you lead us in prayer, please?
Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that we can serve our community. I pray that you help us make good.
Here. Okay, do I hear any roll call vote?
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walton. Aaron Dickens.
Add her to the agenda. We do want to add to the agenda the community crossings grant. Using some ARP money for that, so we'll add that when we get down to the resolution, because that would be a resolution.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that's all we'll vote on tonight. So, if there's no objection to that addition, then we'll move on and consider it approved. Do we have any public comments? Anybody from the citizenry?
Dozens.
Is this tag team again?
We can't stop. You want, oh, yes.
Great.
I'm Carrie Barrett. This is Scott Frost. We're not even here to ask for money.
Yeah.
We are here to continue the bicentennial celebration because it went from Henry County's bicentennial to Newcastle's bicentennial is 2023. Okay. I know. And we have we would like to take some things that went really well for the county bicentennial and do them sort of on a smaller scale for the city bicentennial. And I guess we're here just to.
Yeah, kind of explain. We, for the county, we started about a year and a half before the year of the county bicentennial. So now, obviously, we're not going to be that involved with things, but we think we need to recognize the city being 200 years old with at least a few things. But some of the stuff we did before with the torch run, the time capsule, the Henry County School reach out, things at the Art Center, talks every month at the library. car show, concerts, golf tournament, things like that we probably won't do, but we tried to pick out a few things that might fit, and we kind of like your thoughts and approval.
We thought some of the things that went really well were the community-wide worship service. We wanted to add a strawberry festival or something like that. Just have a passport for Newcastle. And Scott Frost, you
Let me say this,
wanna say it?
we want to maybe try the knockout tournament.
No, maybe. We're gonna do it.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we have some ideas how we can be successful this time. Yeah.
Yeah, we learned from it, and whether we want to make the full commitment for a Guinness certification with an adjudicator here, which is an expensive thing to do, or just, there are other ways to do it, there's ways around it, or maybe just an unofficial record even. But it's expensive to do it the other way, but like Carrie said, we learned from the last one, and we think a better time.
We think probably when there's already a basketball game going on, which no joy. But we didn't think, I mean, you know, you're trying something new, so you don't know.
Do it after the first game of the season where there's a county school coming in to
Yeah.
play with,
That
Do
thanks
boys
to-
and girls the same night even.
oh yeah.
So do it that
It's not a very
afternoon.
big crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least the parents and family.
Well, what, yeah.
I mean,
Well, not that I want to plan it. So.
last year we
can't plan it.
I take all that.
It was good to tie it last year to June, since June was the month for the county, so we tried to put it in June, everything, big things. But it'd be nice to be able to make it work again, and we're sort of looking for your approval of this idea of some celebration and your input. Maybe one of you would like to join us in a group council, a board that would run this.
Frost, Barrett, and
Yeah, one someone from here.
Patty Paul.
If it's a wrestling, if we do takedown-a-thon.
Can we do a world record for wrestling?
There are some.
But anyway, I guess we just want your blessing, I suppose, and also, you know, if you're wanting to be involved, that would be great.
Speaking for myself, I think the council will be blessing to have this.
And we will find out the date. Yes.
Any other input or thoughts that might help us? We thought like the passport was a good thing. We could streamline that to people going around the cities of the entire county to see us.
That
work.
seemed to have I may be wrong, but it seemed to have a good response.
But a really good response. Yes.
And so did the worship service. We think that was strong. There's leaders of, that still want to do that maybe every year, but maybe this year tie it to the city 1800. So
I think that was the best attended, most attended thing that we had. I couldn't believe it, but it just kept coming.
Yeah.
Great. I'm definitely for it. I think it'd be successful. I don't think that we need to try to top last year. Last year was a busy year. It was a good year. But I think we need to move forward with it.
All right. We'll get working. Yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
Anyone else from the community? Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Mr. Guffey?
Yes, I'd like for the traffic committee to look at the 27th Street. Pardon, let me step back. Plum Street between 25th and 27th. It's marked fairly good for no trucks to be turning off at 25th Street onto one. There was an incident, I think it was Friday. I'm not sure, a truck ran over a stop sign over there and wiped it out by grading. I got a call from a guy that lives over there. He said that morning there were 6 semis that went down Plum Street before 9 o'clock. Now, I don't live there, so I don't know, but I know it's not marked coming out of grading. If there's something we can do to help over in that area, it would be great. I don't know. I know there's no sign up saying no trucks to enter coming from grading.
It's about all you can do, but that doesn't guarantee anything.
Do we actually have any defined truck routes through town?
Yeah.
Are those truck routes marked?
They have been, and then signed to get rid over, and if somebody steals them. We just need to stay on top of, get more signs put back up.
And I think the stop sign there at 27th and Plum has been knocked around a ton of times. He actually backed over into the grass there, but I did check out on Beacon, and Grady owns that, and was kind of hoping maybe, I know management and Grady wanted to see if maybe they could do something, widen that up, maybe
If they
concrete
don't,
it for a turn.
if they don't come out on Plum, how do they get out? Grady? How would they?
Well, they're supposed to come out and turn down 27th and go south.
Yeah, that's what I was
On 27th to D Avenue, I think that's the designated truck route.
So really what needs to be done is probably put the signs up and set, and if it's before 9 AM, set a squad car down there and write some tickets for these, and train them to
Yeah, well,
go
this guy,
down 27. Let Grady know, hey, we're gonna be
Right.
ticketing these guys if they don't.
Yes, I agree with that. You know, they called me and I'm not the authority. I can't go over there and write this guy a ticket. I wish they would have called the Matt's team.
Right.
And that's what I explained to him. If you have that problem, call Newcastle Police Department and let them take care of that right then. But I did go. Stop sign was wiped out and it flattened the tire on the trailer of the truck. And they had a truck tire company in there fixing the flat on the trailer. So,
Could we set up a meeting with Grady and say, hey, this is what's going on, this is what we expect out of you and your truck drivers, and then get our signs up and stuff?
I think it'd be good for him to start the conversation. Maybe Joel could talk to somebody at Grady that might be able to do something
I
about it.
mean, just find out where they are with it too. We need to look at both sides of this.
I know some of the management there, so
You know,
I don't mind.
a sign from them to put up would be.
that'd be great. I agree.
But if we for sure had a exchange on 103 that they knew that they could just go south on 18th Street and not have to go through town, sure be convenient.
Get them on our team, Miss Grady.
Working on trying.
I will check with Grady myself also and see what we can do,
Mike, I don't mind meeting with you.
Okay. but that'd be great. That'd be great.
But even when we do get them to
We can look
turn
at
on,
their tax abatements again too. if we need
yeah. When we do get them to turn on 25th Street and turn onto I Avenue, we've got a fire hydrant right there on the corner, and we have poured the curb 3 foot deep, put extra pylons in there for pipe ballards, and they tear them out regularly.
Right, and I know sometimes, you know, I know what the trucker's thinking. He's gonna take the easiest way to get in there. I understand that, just, you know, I did see one back last fall that was all the way down to 23rd block. Just trying to figure out a way to turn around. Yes.
Well, sometimes they think they're taking the easiest way. but
Yeah, they do.
not to be.
So, but we just need to try to give that area some help if we can.
Okay.
And I will, I'll set something up there. I'll let you know.
Just let me know. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Hancock?
Of course, it's that season for the potholes and all that, but there's one on Garner Street on the bridge, which is a state bridge. It's pretty good size. Do we need to send a letter to the state?
It's actually the county's bridge.
Is that the county's bridge?
Yeah, I talked to Joe Wiley last year and took him up there and showed him the condition it was in. I think he's trying to get it on his community
Not
crossing.
Joe, it's,
Or not Joe,
Joe
Copeland. Joe Copeland.
Okay.
And I think they're actually gonna try to get that replaced this year.
The bridge itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they own the road all the way. You guys know where the new entrance is going into the Northfield Park? From there all the way to 3, that's county.
Yeah.
Now, I've got it on my list to go ahead and pave Garner again to the bridge. That's part of theirs too, but the county owns actually a little bit east of the bridge, all the way out to 3.
Right. Since that's a year's way and all that stuff, they need to fill that pothole for someone to get there.
Yeah, we filled it last year.
We do, they
actually had 'em
do.
out here.
Okay.
We got in a little bit of trouble by filling it last time.
Yeah.
I'll give Joe a call and stuff and all that. I've already had 2 bent wheels today and stuff, and that's just a market trader right there going over the bridge and all that
So
stuff.
we have to-
That's what I do. That's all you are.
Mr. Walden?
Dave, with the 16th construction here on north end, Michigan Street going east from there. During the construction, the heavy equipment had to go down through there. As you get down, there's a low spot. The road's been torn up quite a bit. The lead knows about it.
On 16th?
Yeah, on 16th heading east, on Michigan Street. The new part. No, Michigan Street kind of makes a joke.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
You go down east, it goes down to, and it's a wet area, and it's pretty cool.
So it's on Michigan Street?
Yes, it's on
Okay.
Michigan
Yeah,
Street.
between 16th and 18th.
Okay.
It's just, it's a tough area because it stays pretty much wet there because it is low. I don't know how much that had to do with it, but that heavy equipment going down through there,
I'll
Took his
call
toll.
Jim Harvey and take him out there. He was the guy overseeing that with the NDOT project, White Construction did the project, so I'll see if they can do something.
and it was understandable why they used
Right.
it. I mean, you knew why they used it, that's not it. It just, you know, that street through there isn't made to handle that kind of weather, so that's all I have.
Thank you.
Were you gonna say something? Yeah, you said okay.
Okay. Mr. Dickon?
The only thing that I want to point out, and I'm kind of bummed because it's not quite done, spent a few hours last week setting up new audio equipment. I'm about a cable and an adapter away from having it into the camera so that the audio for the stream is much higher quality. I think that's important for transparency and those that can't get to all the meetings or just want to see what's going on. And then I also plugged in my computer because I wanted to point out this is totally separate, but in place of the projector screen, multimedia presentations, whatnot. I'm going to try to throw the map up for our ordinance here for vacating the right of way. All iPads should be able to go up there. Once everything settles down, we'll have a little training lesson on that because I think it'll help with vendors or whoever coming in and making presentations. So at this point just about $2,100, which is $200 under my estimate. And $400, I think, under the earmark. I think we did $2,500. 3,500. So, $1,400 under my earmark.
We might need to buy new speakers out of these 1963.
Well, the Methodist
Jewels.
Church might want those back.
No, we don't.
I do have, and I thought
When you were 14, don't you?
thought we would just try this setup for the first few meetings. We did purchase another screen that I thought might work well on that wall or this wall for public. So it's just easier to view, but with as big as that one is, I thought we could save a few $100. We'll do it and return it. So, like I said, I'm just a couple parts away. The hardest part about the audio is, feeling like I know what I need, but don't want to spend the money without knowing it's what I need. So we'll hopefully by the next meeting have it all buttoned up and working. So
Looking good.
thanks. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Coder?
Any update on the bridge on 38?
Supposedly you've got 4 more weeks. It said what, mid-February?
They were supposed to pour the last week of January. Of course, they got to tent the whole thing because they can't put additives in concrete. It's got to cure for a month, so we're looking at the end of February, 1st of March.
Right on schedule.
It's right on schedule, right before Thanksgiving.
November 15th was the completion
Yeah,
date.
November 15th was the
You know,
completion date.
in all honesty, we put pressure on them with our emergency services, going around that, our sanitation department going around it daily. It put a lot of citizens in this township at risk. A lot of people at risk for fires, police protection, ambulance, especially. That's sad. It's real sad that the state treated us like that.
I agree.
Anything else, Mr. Coder?
No, good, thanks.
You should have seen how they treated us on the last water main break.
I know.
They didn't care,
No,
did not care.
so
Wash-
they're great signage and.
Wash their hands of it.
Mr. Purdue. Okay. Got a few things here. First thing, Mr. Barker, we were talking about this last year, but we didn't have all the information we needed for what the state was gonna do. Would you mind looking at how much it would cost us to finish that sidewalk on one side of the street from Washington Street on out to the hospital?
Right there on
16.
North 16.
Yeah, let's look into it, maybe it's prohibitive, but that's something.
Really
council-
shouldn't be that much, Rick,
Right.
because a lot of it's paved already.
Right.
And,
But that was one thing,
yeah,
everybody on the council kind of thought was a good thing and
there's really only two sections on the
Yeah.
meeting.
didn't want to let it slip through the cracks.
Would it be on the east side or west side?
East
Well,
side.
yeah, it should be on the east side,
On the east side?
should be.
There's already some there on the east side?
Well, there's up to Washington Street, and then there's,
The parking lots there at the nursing home, you have 4 houses, nursing home, parking lot, green grass, then the hospital. So that's a pretty good memory for a 60.
that's not bad, that's not bad. We
You
should
write that
drive
down.
by that probably about every day. Okay, so just looking at that, appreciate it, Dave. The next thing would be something that, if we decide we want to do this, we can vote on it in the next meeting. Talk to Jeff Ray, I think he's been in touch with Helen a little bit, but he has a plan. I'll send that plan out that shows the specific spots for these trees, but he wants to see us get trees planted along the Fitzgerald Trail, and then in some of the areas where it's more wetlands, they would plant plants, that thrive in wetlands. And so anyway, and I'll send that out, you guys can look at, see what you think of it. But I would like to see us allocate 15,000 for Riverboat for that. He seems to think if we allocate that we will get some match from Duke, and we won't spend the whole 15,000. But that's what it would probably cost.
Is there an application to do it?
He-
Didn't say.
He kind of communicates directly with Mr. Lamar.
I think there's a little short application.
Right, he knows all, he's on all that,
What was that location again?
along Fitzgerald Trail.
Washington, in between Washington Street
And
and
in
Fitzgerald Trail.
between 20th and Salvation Army. So they'll start, it's a nice trail, but it's just kind of barren out there. It'd be nice to kind of start making that a place that maybe not in the next 5 years, but 10 or 20 years look really, really, really nice.
Did he happen to mention what kind of trees there is?
Well, he talked about kind of a variety, just depending on what section they were in, whether it was wetter, whether it was not as wet. And I know Jeff is in communication, talks to Helen. I have every confidence in the world that they'll put the right trees in there.
And Helen has already
And I
talked to
think on
Lynn.
this plan,
She said if we buy the plants or the seeds, that she would plant them or have her people do it. So, that's all. There's some of it that literally is swamp, and there's certain things that do grow in, certain things that don't. So, I feel confident.
Yeah, and I think maybe in this plan I'll send out, they may even have different sections of different trees and stuff. So we'll send that out. The other thing I wanted to bring up, so we can have a little discussion. We had a presentation from Carrie Bear with Main Street last meeting. I would like, when we talked about finance, nobody had a big gripe about it. I do want to know how the whole council feels. But we would like to see us either right now allocate from Riverboat 10 or 15,000 to Main Street right now. The mayor seems receptive to putting some money in the budget for the future. And once he and Kerry have some discussions, then if our amount to kind of match up or supplement what the mayor puts in the budget needs to go up, we can do that at a later date. But this will give them some money right now to work with.
You know, the only word she heard was up.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I'm suggesting 10 or 15 from us right now. We gave 25 2 years ago. So, you know, if we did 15 this year, we did 15, having to do 15 next year, that's I don't know exactly what percentage, but that's a pretty decent percentage in terms of a raise to what they're getting. But I know the mayor is receptive to that. We went on that field trip to Shelbyville and Brookville, and their cities participated in the Main Street program. So anyway, anybody have anything to say?
So are you looking at getting something in the budget yearly for them to depend upon?
Here's what I told the finance committee. I see Main Street now as when they started, where they came to me, they're like the animal shelter, or like the airport, or like EDC, that we put X amount of dollars in the budget each year. I think they are an entity of theirself now, and I think that we should put money in the budget for them each year. If we put money in the budget and the council wanted to, you know, add a little to that, or add some to that, or add money to that, then, you know, then 2 years down the road, animal shelter comes to us and says, well, and next year we could really use another $5,000. You know, this is not a complaint, but instead of coming to us every year and asking for some more money, I think we should just put it in the budget so that we can count on it on a regular basis.
So that would, you know, since they're becoming more of an entity themselves and applying for grants and things, it would be budget money that you would anticipate getting every year.
Right. Depend on.
Right. Depend on, right.
I think it was my understanding that communities our size that have registered Main Street organizations, I think 60,000 was the commitment most municipals put toward that. Rex had mentioned 15. I'd like to see us in a budget to commit 30,000.
Let me go through some numbers first.
Yeah, hey.
I mean, the budget's set for this year.
Correct,
So,
correct. I'm talking about next year.
Right.
Yes. Correct. So I like that number, and then if we can sweeten it with promotional things out of Riverboat and different funds throughout the year. Personally, I'd like to see us get close to that 60,000 commitment. They're doing an outstanding job. We need it, and it needs to become an everlasting part of our community.
Well, Lynn, it's like I said, Kerry presented, we see the benefits every day.
Yes. Yeah,
Every day.
Every day.
They're right there, and right there where it should be. So.
And I think, you know, hopefully the mayor finds money in the next budget, and maybe it is 60,000, but if it's not, it could be X number of dollars. The goal next year would be this and this until it builds up over 2 or 3 years. And for a few years, we could supplement a little more out of Riverboat. I'm just concerned with the initial thought was we'd take $60,000 out of Riverboat, we'd get about 70,000 a year, and we wouldn't have anything left.
Yeah.
But we could supplement the initial budgetary outlay a little stronger than we might, and then build it up to there. Anyway, is there any other?
So you're talking 15,000 initially, and any supplement would be next year.
Well, let's say, you know, I don't want to set a number. Let's say our number. Let's say the mayor in the next budget is able to say, 30,000 this year, and well, maybe we raise this in
Right.
November, December a little bit to to bring them closer to that level they want to be at.
Okay. So it'd be 15,000 for 2023.
For, our beginning investment would be that for 2023.
That's
That would mean that would be our only.
That's
it
what I
might
wanted
be.
to firm up. And I mean, everybody's already said it, but, Main Street's doing a lot of legwork for the city.
They do a lot of
that
good
we don't
things,
have
there's
to.
no doubt about it.
So, yeah.
Would anybody object to 15,000? Be what's in our resolution? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And, let's see, so that's it for the trees, that's it for Main Street, and then when we get to resolutions, I've got one other thing. So, okay, Your Honor, I'll turn it over to you.
Chief, you have anything today?
No, the police department's completely moved in down at 197 North 6th Street. Everybody's operating out of there right now. We still have a little bit of miscellaneous stuff down here to move. That stuff in the hallway's got to go to Three Rivers. We don't want to just dump it in the dumpster. But outside of that, I don't have anything else.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Well, I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Matt. Especially want to thank this council because we appropriated quite a bit of money out of ARP funds, that our police department is going to be in what's going to be really a first-class place. It'll be a place that they're safe. Ever since I started coming to these meetings, I'd walk in that back door and I'd look at that big glass picture window and I would think, well, there's a disaster waiting to happen. Somebody driving by and doing something bad. Our cars set out there in the parking lot, unprotected, and I mean that's a testament to the people in this room and our police department, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, I think Dave, he's done
Yeah.
all the.
But I just appreciate what's went into getting that done because I think that's something we can really be proud of for years to come.
Thank you. Anything else, Matt? Thank you. Chief? Chief?
No, sir.
Mike? No. Dave?
No, sir.
Counselor?
I don't have anything else.
Brenda? Kendra? Doug? No, sir. Greg?
No, sir.
Well, I know you got something to say.
It may not be good. but we got
Lee never leaves without saying something.
He's already said it to me. and I told him not
If
to
you
say it
can
out
say
loud.
something, we'll make sure we tell Lee it was much better than
I asked Lee, I said, Lee, you got anything you want me to bring up tonight? Nope. I said, okay, I can handle that.
No problem. Well, your face turned pretty red, just saying that much, so appreciate that. I don't have anything, so go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The first resolution, or the only resolution I want to bring up is the one I mentioned in terms of changing the agenda. Brenda has told us, the mayor, that we have $750,000 to commit to community crossings, which would get us a $750,000 match from the state. Finance committee feels like that we could add to that from ARP money, $250,000, and we could get $1 million from the state, which seems like a pretty good deal for me. So anyway, but the only reason I'm added that to the agenda, I don't want to blindside anybody, but that grant has to be all filled out and sitting in this within about a week, so.
It's got to be turned in a week, and I've actually got $2 million worth of roads picked out, so if you guys get that, if you guys decide you want to do that, if not, I'll have to back somehow.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we allocate $250,000 from ARP money to the Community Crossings Grant Program based on the administration coming up with $750,000 and approval from the state of Indiana.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any other discussion? It was double second.
Double man.
Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll do a roll call vote.
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walton. Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogan. Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Beckentall.
Aye. Okay, that brings us to ordinances. We've got second reading, ordinance 3900, that's amending prior ordinances regarding the schedule of charges for the emergency ambulance and transportation service. I move we pass that on second reading.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden. Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rick Speckenball.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for the third reading for 3900.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, moved and seconded to suspend the rules so there can be a third reading on ordinance 3900. Roll call vote, please.
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rick Speckenball.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion for third reading 3900.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rick Speckenball.
Aye. Motion passes on second and third reading. Now we'll move on to the first reading of ordinance 3901, vacating right-of-way. Whereas Mark and Christina Robinson have petitioned the city of Newcastle to vacate a public right-of-way that is described as that portion of the platted alley between parcel number 030-5812-1-00, that's 517 North 11th Street on the north, and parcels number 030-58135-00, that's 1024 New York Avenue, and parcel number 030-58133-00, that's 1018 New York Avenue on the south. The area that is proposed to be vacated is depicted in a hashed line on the map attached to this ordinance. Whereas the area is not utilized by the public as a means of ingress or egress, and vacating the area will not impede access to any property or negatively impact the development of the city, and whereas the Common Council has held a public hearing on the petition and has provided notice of the hearing by publication by certified mail to each owner of the land that abuts the property proposed to be vacated. Now therefore be it ordained by this Common Council of the City of Newcastle, Indiana, that the petition to vacate real estate filed by Mark and Christina Robinson is hereby granted. It is further ordained that the following public way is vacated to wit: the portion of the platted alley between parcel number 030-58121-00, 517 North 11th Street on the north, and parcels number 030-58135-00, 1024 New York Avenue, and parcel number 030-58133-00, that's 1018 New York Avenue on the south. I move we pass ordinance 3901 on first reading.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion concerning this? Then next we would have a public
Have a
hearing.
public hearing next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would they take ownership of that?
Well, typically, when you do a vacate, the ownership splits depending on who owns property.
Splits down the middle.
Yeah.
Portion that goes, but I think they own this and this.
Yeah,
So this guy would probably get half of this whole thing.
yeah.
So it goes back into the.
Generally, yes, correct. It's no longer public right of way.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hover. Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rick Speckenball.
Aye. Motion 3901 passes. That completes our business for this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay.